This is Plant-Based Briefing, 6 Dairy-Free Olympians to Watch at the Tokyo Olympics by switchforgood.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast where I narrate articles from experts with their permission on a variety of plant-based and vegan topics. Today's post is in honor of the Olympics, which kick off today, and it's from Switch for Good. They're an evidence-based nonprofit. They're dedicated to rattling the accepted norms around dairy and health. They're also working to abolish the current system of dietary racial oppression, and they're promoting solutions for climate change. Their website, switchforgood.org, is full of great resources, as well as a link to their podcast, which is hosted by Olympic medalist Dotsie Bausch and Baywatch actress and health coach Alexandra Paul. The story of how Switch for Good came to be is a great one. Dotsie Bausch was an Olympic medalist in the 2012 Games, and while she was watching the 2018 Winter Olympic trials, one particular commercial made her shocked and angry. It was a dairy ad that declared, quote, 9 out of 10 Olympians grew up drinking milk, as if cow's milk played a decisive factor in these athletes' success. She was already frustrated by the dairy industry's infiltration of Team USA, and this was the last straw for her. She felt she could no longer stand by as the industry pushed its products on athletes at national training centers, or used these athletes' platforms to sell dairy to the American public. So she sprung into action. She gathered together a crew plus 5 other dairy-free Olympians, and they filmed their own commercial in response to the misguided pro-dairy ad. It was revolutionary. It featured these 6 incredible athletes proudly declaring that they had made the switch for good to improve their athletic performance. And it aired during the 2018 Winter Olympic closing ceremony and the pre- and post-show Oscars. And this tiny team of elite athletes has blossomed into a full-blown women-led nonprofit organization. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. 6 Dairy-Free Olympians to Watch at the Tokyo Olympics by switchforgood.org. After a disappointing postponement, these dairy-free Olympians are ready to compete. The Olympic Games will finally return in just a few short weeks after a year of uncertainty and extra training. The Olympic-level energy has already been ignited with the televised trials in the U.S. and abroad, as spectators devotedly watched to see who would earn a spot in Tokyo. This year, there are more than a handful of dairy-free Olympians either making their Games debut or returning once more to go for gold. With 11,000 athletes competing from around the world, there are more dairy-free Olympians than we can keep track of. However, here are just a few incredible dairy-free athletes to root for come July 23rd. Alex Morgan. Morgan returns for her 3rd Olympics on the Team USA women's soccer team. She holds a medal from the 2012 London Games where she scored 3 key goals throughout the tournament. In the States, she plays for Orlando Pride in the National Women's Soccer League, and she's not the only vegan athlete on that team. Orlando Pride defenders Ali Riley and Tony Presley are also plant-based. Kaylin Whitney. After a breakthrough debut as a 15-year-old 100 and 200-meter sprinter, Whitney stepped it up for the 2021 Olympic trials. In 2015, she held the record for the fastest woman under 18 to compete in the 100 and 200-meter sprints, but in 2016, she failed to make the U.S. Olympic team. After a few years of frustration, Whitney advanced to the 400-meter distance and adopted a plant-based diet to do it. She came in 5th at the trials, securing her spot on the Team USA Women's 400x4 relay. We can't wait to watch her compete in her first Olympic Games. Ali Riley. Most of the time, Riley plays alongside Olympian Alex Morgan for the Orlando Pride women's professional soccer team. As a dual citizen, she also gets to play for Team New Zealand when the Olympics roll around. This will be her 4th Olympic Games. When not on the field, she loves cooking and eating. She co-hosts a vegan cooking show on YouTube with her teammate Tony Presley called Girls Gone Veg. Check it out. Mickey Papa. The Tokyo Games is the first Olympics to include skateboarding in the competition, and Papa could not be more thrilled. Specializing in the street style of skateboarding, this vegan pro is making his Olympic debut. Watch him compete on July 25th and cheer him on as he nails his signature trick, a nollie 360 flip backslide tail slide kick flip out. Vivian Kong. Vegan fencer Vivian Kong competed for Team Hong Kong at the 2016 Rio Olympics. While she did not podium, she made history in 2019 as the first Hong Kongese fencer to win a World Cup championship. Fun fact, she's left-handed. She's also always got a smile on her face, which is a bit of a welcome juxtaposition for a person holding a sharp, pointy object. And Paris Benegas. This plant-based BMX freestyle cyclist is thrilled that her sport is making its Olympic debut in Tokyo. She's a seasoned professional with several accolades under her handlebars. In 2018, she beat out male competitors and won gold at the World Championships. Watch her compete on July 31st, followed up by the finals on August 1st. You just listened to 6 dairy-free Olympians to watch at the Tokyo Olympics from switchforgood.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this podcast is a labor of love. I just want to share all this amazing information about plant-based and vegan living. And I have a favor to ask you. Could you take a minute to review and rate the podcast? You can leave reviews or ratings on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music or Audible, Podchaser, Castbox, Podcast Addict, and Good Pods. And I always welcome emails. I'd love to hear from you, and I respond to every one. You can email me with feedback or comments or types of posts you'd like me to include. You can reach me at marian@plantbasedbriefing.com. That's MARIAN at plantbasedbriefing.com. Thanks so much for listening.